Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be looking at the Xbox 360 arcade indie game White Noise. Now White Noise was a survival horror game where the objective was to survive from a creature that was hunting you whilst you had to walk around a map looking for tape recorders. If that sounds familiar, then that is probably because the game is very similar to a game called Slender Man. Now, for all my viewers that are probably over the age of 12, Slender Man was a massive hit back in the day. It was a creepypasta video game and it was the talk of the town. Every single YouTuber at the time was playing it, every single person was talking about it. It was a big game. Now unfortunately Slender Man was only on the PC back then because we didn't have platform sharing and we didn't really have games that went between consoles, so it was a PC only game, and this meant us Xbox players could not join in on the massive craze that was Slender Man. However, White Noise did come in clutch because it was available on the Xbox 360 in the arcade, and although it wasn't Slender Man, it was very close. Hopping straight into the game, we have the character selection. Now, I'm not sure how much has changed since the Xbox 360 days because I am playing this on Steam on the PC, so there's most likely been quite a few updates since Xbox 360, but it's still pretty similar. But I agreed with a massive character selection screen which has a lot of characters and all of them have different stats. So you can have the starter characters which are more beginner friendly, which are kind of just all around good, or have slight decreases and increases in stats, and then as you went further down the tree to the other characters which required to do stuff to unlock them, they had very specific strengths and weaknesses so it could tailor to your playstyle. I really like this because it kind of rewards you for playing the game. It's not just play and done. There's an incentive to keep playing and to get better scores and to get more tapes, as well as each character having a play style. So however you like to play the game, if that's running around or being more sneaky or evading the monster more, then you could choose to your play style. Now there aren't too many maps of the game, there are only 6, but for a very old game like this, it's better than one. I picked the first map because I'm guessing that's the map intended for beginners. And with that being said, I loaded into a dark forest to try and find the 8 tape recorders. The controls are very basic, so apart from your looking around and moving around, you've got a sprint option, a flashlight option, and a pickup option. And straight away spawning in, you can see it is dark, but luckily the flashlight doesn't have batteries or any sort of recharge time, it's permanent, so that did help, but it was very dark and hard to see. And also the sprint is very slow. I don't even know why there's a sprint option because these characters cannot run. But there is a stamina bar, so you will eventually run out of your sprint and have to recharge. Now, like I said earlier, this is a Slender Man type game. So in Slender Man, you spawn in a forest with a flashlight and you have to go and find 8 pages around the Slender Man map with Slender Man hunting you. So this is very similar. You've got the monster chasing you and you've got to find 8 tape recordings. I noticed that I was pretty much safe before I found the first tape recorder. It seems to amp up in difficulty the more tape recorders you find, because the second you pick up your first one, a ominous music starts playing. And then once you pick up 4, the music ramps up a bit, and I don't think I ever got past 4, so I'm not sure what happens when you get 7 or 8. Now you can beat the game and actually win by collecting all the tape recorders, which I wasn't able to do, but it is nice that there is an end. Now the monster in this game is a bit pathetic. Now when I played this on Xbox 360, I swear the monster was a bit more scary and active because essentially the monster is just a PNG image. So when the monster spawns in, it will do a flash and a sound cue to tell you that he's here. And he just kind of stands off and looks at you. He doesn't move, he's just there, like almost like a PNG image just spawns in. And when you look away from him and move, he can sometimes move a bit forward when you look back, like a weeping angel kind of thing. But nothing insane, so pretty much if he spawns in, all you gotta do is look away and walk away, or even just get something to block his view and he's not a threat. Now there are these weird like green statues that spawn in, And what I could gain from them is they lower your sanity. So each character, as I was saying earlier, some have better sanity or worse sanity, and I'm guessing that's a resistance to these totems, but these will randomly spawn in, and being near them will lower your sanity, increasing the chances of the monster spawning in and attacking you. But again, all you got to do is walk away and not look at them. What made Slender Man so scary is he was a constant threat. Once he appeared, it was hard to get him to go away. He would teleport and chase you and get to you, whereas in White Noise he just kind of stands there and looks at you. Just walk away and you're pretty safe. The design of the monster I can't really say is scary or isn't scary, because maybe back in the Xbox 360 days when I was younger, maybe I found that scary, because I definitely found Slender Man scary back then, but now I don't. So can't really judge the design of it, but it isn't really scary. So it kind of fails in being a horror game on that aspect, because pretty much once you figured out the game mechanics, it's not really scary. And the game unfortunately just becomes a boring cat and mouse of walking around the map looking for the tape recorders and being chased by a PNG image. Now again, I'm not expecting this to be some massive AAA amazing game, because it is just an indie arcade game, but it's really disappointing. I don't remember it being this bad. Now once you die in this game, one thing I do really like is it shows the path you took and all the key moments. So it has this like map and shows the path that you followed, and whenever you picked up any tape recorders or whenever you saw the monster. So I did really like that. And I did also try this game on nightmare mode, which is the hardest mode, and again, it's not very hard. The only difference is you pretty much get attacked straight away and constantly, but like I said, as long as you just walk in the other direction and don't look at him or put something in between you and the monster, you're fine. And that's all I really have to say about the game. There isn't too much to it, because it is a very simple Slender Man clone. It might be more fun with friends. I mean, it is called White Noise Online, and it is definitely meant to be played online. It would make finding the tapes a lot easier, so it would make the game less boring and tedious if you're looking for that one tape circling the map over and over again on your own. But in terms of horror and scare factor, it really isn't, and once a horror game fails to do the job of a horror game, it pretty much just becomes boring. But that is it for today's video. It became more like a review than a nostalgic look at the game. Out of all the games I've reviewed so far from the Xbox 360 indie arcade area, this was definitely the most disappointing. It just wasn't really scary or fun, so it's meant to be like a horror game, but fails dramatically in the horror, so the gameplay isn't fun. But apart from that, that's it. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this game. Did you play it back on the 360, or have you played it recently on Steam? I'm interested to see what you guys think about it, but until then, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.